Now we're going to talk about the proper way to hold the guitar. As you can see, the guitar has an arch right here. This fits pretty perfectly over your thigh. So for guys, you can hold it like this. This would be maybe more appropriate for a woman. But that'll fit and sit pretty comfortably right over your thigh. Now, your right hand, you want your forearm right here resting comfortably on the body of the guitar, about right here in this area. You want the palm of your hand, this part right here, to rest lightly on the bridge. Not in front to where you're muting the strings, but right behind there. That gives you a good pivot point. It'll give your right hand a lot more control. You definitely don't want to be floating around out here, at least for the exercises we're going to be doing in the beginning here. So you want to pivot that, plant that, so you can pivot right there on the bridge of the guitar. Now your left hand, you want your thumb on the back of the neck like that. Not the pad, you want the pad of your thumb, not the tip. You don't want to hold it like this. You want to hold it like that. Then you want to wrap your hands around so that when you're pressing down on the fret, that your fingers are arched. Like that. So you always want to be playing with the tips of your fingers, not the pads of your fingers. You always want to try to be on your tips. Your fingers are going to get really sore at first, but that will go away over time as you practice. So you want to wrap it around and arch your fingers like this. You always want to be able to have a gap between your palm here and the bottom of the neck. You don't want to be resting your palm up against the bottom of the neck. So you should always be able to really like fit a pencil between there or something. Okay, now we're going to go back to our right hand. So we got our palm lightly on the bridge for our pivot point. You're going to hold your pick with either your thumb and two fingers or your thumb and your first finger. Either way is acceptable. You do not want to hold the pick like this. It's kind of a bad habit to start. So that would be the proper way to hold it, or like that. So with our right hand resting on the bridge, I just want you to pick the 6th string, that's your E string, and just pick one time down. Now, we do something in guitar called alternating your picking, where you do downstrokes and upstrokes. So going down toward the floor would be a downstroke, picking up would be an upstroke. So I just want you to hit the 6th string, the E string, that's also referred to as the low E string. I want you to hit that 4 times, alternating your picking up and down. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to go down to the 5th string, that's your A string. I want you to pick that 4 times, alternating your picking. Now we're going to go to the 4th string, that's your D string. Pick that 4 times. Now to our 3rd string, which is G. Pick that 4 times. Remember to keep your palm rested on the bridge. Pick our 2nd string, that's B. Pick that 4 times. And finally, our 1st string, which is E, or often referred to as the high E string. Pick that 4 times. Just make sure that before you move on, you have that alternating picking method down. It's also really important to memorize the notes of the open strings. When I say open strings, I mean the note that you're playing without putting any fingers down with your left hand. So when I pick this string, the 6th string, that is a low E, or an E note. The 5th string is A, 4th string is D, the 3rd string is G, 2nd string is B, and the 1st string is E or high E. It's important to memorize those notes for now. I wouldn't worry about memorizing any other notes on the fretboard except for the open strings for now. Now we're going to finish up the lesson, and I'm going to show you a simple exercise incorporating our left and right hand. This is just a simple exercise to work on your muscle memory, your finger dexterity, your coordination between your left and right hands. So with your left hand now, thumb on the back of the neck, arched fingers, playing with your fingertip. I want your first finger, that would be your index finger, on the 5th fret. Now, when you fret, you want to be right behind the actual fret, the silver piece. You want to be right behind it, as close to it as you possibly can without being on top of it. That'll give you the best tone, the best sound. If you're back here, a lot of times you get kind of a bad buzzing sound, so you want to be right up against that fret. That'll give you a nice clear tone. So now with your right hand technique, palm on the bridge, I want you to press down. You're going to have to press down pretty hard. I want you to pick that 4 times, alternating your picking. Now with your second finger, I want you to go 1 fret up on the 6th fret, leaving your first finger down. Pick that 4 times. Then with your third finger, your ring finger, go the next fret up. That's the 7th fret, still leaving all your fingers down. Pick that 4 times. And finally, your pinky, or your 4th finger, on the 8th fret. Remember the whole time to be alternating your picking up and down strokes. Now we're going to go to the A string and do the exact same thing. Starting with our first finger, 4 times. Second finger. Third finger. Fourth finger. Then we're going to go to the 4th string, the D string. Same thing. Again, this is just an exercise to get your fingers moving and build up the coordination between your left and right hand. We're just going to work all the way down all the strings. When you get to there, I want you to go backwards. All the way down so you get back to where you started. Now go as slow as you need to go. If it's... that's fine. It's better to be slow and precise than fast and sloppy. You can always work up to faster. Now once you get it down where you're playing each note twice, then I want you to just play each note 1 time. You're still palm on the bridge. You're still alternating your picking. And what you're really working for toward is something that sounds like this. Once you get it down slow, then you can work on your speed. I want you to practice this all over the neck. So you can start on the 1st fret. Go the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and so on, all the way down. Now I want you to make sure that your notes are evenly spaced out. So you want to avoid being like you want to make sure they're all even. What you especially want to work on is going from one string to the next. So when you go from the pinky to your first finger back down here to the A string. So you want to make sure you got smooth transitions going from each string. So once you get that down, then you'll be ready for lesson 2. But I would strongly encourage you to not move on until you can play that pretty smoothly without thinking about it too much.